Well, I don't know. This is the second tape, I think, here. What I'm trying to get across is they're using psychological warfare, programming people, and the background check they're demanding for getting guns and everything. If they ever tell about me, I'm not able to say my real name. They have made me with in plain sight. They have really tortured me, and I'm showing this because what happened to me when I got up here is to Roanoke. I had no money. My jobs had been gotten to, and didn't know where my sons were. This is a letter I meant to put on here. It's from Renee Williams. It was booted up to her, and it's using the name Williams. Okay, the murders were happened. Mind control were done in patterns. Now then, I had lived there in 2008 for 3 months. And it was pretty, it's Section 8, but that was just one building, and it was nice. The rest of it is like a campus. So it hurt when I had to leave there because the law goes in and tells them, and it's pre-done, and the chemicals are already in there using the air conditioning or vent. And then if I go out, they trespass in and soak my bedding. They did that at a formal corporate suite. I lived there 17 months in hell. You can't go to the cops. They're telling them to do it. And can you see me going and trying to tell this? It would sound rambling unless it's put down in a court of law, like a committee hearing it or like that. Then that consumes some more of my life. Well, my life's hell anyway, but at least it would be nice to hear it told, the truth. So they've coming up here. They've used my illness. I'm allergic to chemicals. Immune system attacks itself if I'm around industrial or some other household cleaners. So my body over the years, they force fed it. When you have a place to live and you have to break the lease, nobody wants to hear that. A background check doesn't show it. And then if you go to someone to try to rent a place, they'll say, well, what made you break this lease? Can you imagine me telling them? I can tell you what they do. They'll say, well, that's crazy, or they back away from it here because they know it's true. It's common knowledge here in Roanoke what's been done to me. So now I wanted to show this and read it. And also say that people should really be looking. Why have the psychiatrists over the years not admitted to mind control being used? Mind control has nothing to do with mental illness. Mental illness has taken a bad rap, calling them paranoid schizophrenic like James Holmes. They have misdiagnosed that man. Tucson, Arizona. How many of these have been, well, the young fella in Sandy Hook shot himself, as a lot of them do. By the way, here at Virginia Tech, the 33 in April of '07, he shot himself. He was from South Korea, the supposedly shooter, who was under mind control to shoot. He didn't do it, really. A gun, it's like a gun going off. He might have pulled the trigger, but somebody's pulling his trigger. Let me say that. He's innocent, so these mind control victims are being labeled mentally ill and force-fed psychotic drugs, which is the most hideous, hideous thing you can think of. One of the psychiatrists at Fort Hood shooting, the man that did the shooting was a psychiatrist. He finished school here at Virginia Tech next to me in Roanoke at Blacksburg. Now then, he was born here in Vinton, Roanoke. Now, what are the chances? And there's a lot of other mind control murders that were done there they don't tell about, that they're just single or double murders. So nobody's telling about mind control. My God, it's got a gag order on it. Somebody ought to break the gag order. I mean, really. Okay, I'm going to see how it makes me sound. If you don't know and you don't care to know, I bring in the Larry Flint and I bring in the magazine, trying to prove myself when somebody else should be out there trying to help me because it's scary as hell. Now, they're not to have a place to live. They have controlled and deliberately put chemicals, and people go along with it because the agency that's in charge of doing this gets things on them. Let's quote this, and you know who I'm talking about. They'll investigate, and they will find something either on your kids or on you. And most people don't care. I'm British. Yeah, so my mom's Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, an American. To hell with her. I'm English. Yes, I am, and proud of it. So let's get her. What was the old thing? I'll smell the bones of an Englishman. I'll grind your bones to make my bread. That's what they've done to me. So, and they think it's a joke. So now that been put in the place at Edinburgh, Richfield, Joseph's Way, these are places I stayed, Section 8, where they have slowly helped kill me and torture me with chemicals, and nobody will do a thing. So I've had to go back to Edinburgh, and by the way, they did say that they wouldn't have anything for 5 years. How's that? These are people my age that are going to die real soon, and yet they called me back in 2 weeks because they were told to by the people doing this. I went in, and they had an apartment that was cute, a little studio, but then on the way out and some other things happened, they scared me to death. What if I sign another lease and have to break it because they're going to use the chemicals again on me? And so then I go back to Richfield. And for a couple of months, I've been trying to get back in there, hoping it wouldn't happen to me again, that they would stop the soaking me with chemicals. Now then, it was booted up to Williams, and I'm going to read this that was sent on email. And then I'm going to have to stop. I've tried to tell you what they're doing with programming. They can program your kids. They've been doing it for a long, long time. And the moms and dads, too, without their knowledge. How would you know? So background checks are full of baloney. This is really, they're going to have it to where anything you say or do can be deemed you're mentally ill, and all they have to do is lock you up and use psychotic drugs. And you in America, you've had it pretty darn good, comfortable, and you're going to go on living it as long as you can until it happens to you. And that's what one of the FBI agents said to me in '82 in Atlanta. Now, before this tape goes out, I want to put this on, read it, from Renee Williams at Richfield. They hadn't responded to me. Here's what she said. I'm going to read this. I can't read it. It's PHIPAA compliance statement. Now, let me remind you, because I can't get an attorney or law enforcement or anybody, I have put this on YouTube, and I have put it on Facebook. So I imagine that this is kind of her statement to me. But whatever, I don't know what the PHIPAA compliance statement is. The communication may contain confidential protected health information. So what are they saying there? This information, including any attachment, is intended only for the use of the individual or entity to which it is addressed. The authorized recipient of this information is prohibited from disclosing this information to any other party unless required to do so by law or regulation, and is required to destroy the information after its stated need has been fulfilled. If you are not the intended, which, am I the intended? That's not what it's saying. She has it out there where I'm trying to rent HUD. That's got me worse than any criminal. Or while they're committing the crimes against me. I mean, it's conspiracy, assault with a deadly weapon. If you put a bee in the room with someone who's allergic to bees, or a beehive in there, several bees, and they died, you'd have them for murder. You deliberately put a murder weapon, like peanuts, if you deliberately fed someone who's got a deathly allergy to peanuts. Well, that's what they've done to me. Now, here she's telling me with this